Hi, Josh here with pharmacisttips.com to talk a little bit today about prior authorization and how you get insurance companies to approve medications. This is a frustrating process for pharmacists, for patients, for doctors, but it is something in the modern world that we have to deal with. So the more we understand, the easier it can be. First off, why won't the insurance cover your medication? And what is this thing the pharmacy is telling you requires prior authorization? It means that it needs a pre-approval by your prescription insurance because either cost or safety of the medication. There may be a therapeutic alternative, meaning a medicine that will achieve the same effect or treat the condition that may be safer or cheaper. Or the medication may not be on the formulary of your prescription insurance. The formulary is just a long list of medications preferred by your insurance company, and it varies from company to company. So it's worth calling your insurance company, see if you can get a copy of it. Oftentimes you can log on to their website and print out a copy of the formulary. You can take that with you to the doctor, and that can save a lot of time and headaches in the future because your provider can find you a medication that they know your insurance will cover. Another reason is it may require step therapy, meaning you have to try a generic first. Let's say you're a type 2 diabetic and your provider wants to put you on a newer diabetes medication. Well, your insurance may deny it if you haven't at least tried metformin first. Metformin is a generic diabetic medication. It's been around a long time and it has been shown to work really well. So that would be an example of a step therapy. They're not going to cover it till it's been proven that you've failed some of the tried and true cheaper methods for treating the condition. And some medications may simply just not be covered by your insurance. Many weight loss medications are not covered by insurance. Cosmetic things, things like for wrinkles, for hair removal, for improving eyelash growth, those are not going to be covered. We're seeing more and more over-the-counter items within the same class. So a lot of like heartburn and reflux, acid suppressing medications. Now that they've become available over the counter without a prescription, many plans have just stopped covering the prescription versions. Some cough medicines are not covered by certain insurance companies. Erectile dysfunction drugs, oftentimes not covered by insurance companies. And I'm going to have a detailed, or I do have a detailed summary at pharmacisttips.com/PA. Just it goes into a little more detail and explains this. So how does the prior authorization process work? The pharmacy usually starts, or the doctor maybe even will know right away this medicine will probably require prior authorization. As a pharmacist, I always try to come up with an alternative if there is a possibility that will work the same that I know their insurance will cover, or we just go ahead and we forward the insurance contact information to the doctor's office. Then the doctor or prescriber will determine whether they can change the medicine to something else that will help treat the condition, or they will contact the insurance company. The healthcare provider then will begin completing the forms. They may be a form they fill out and fax in, or a web form, or an email, or sometimes they can do them over the phone. Also, the pharmacy and doctor may use a service like the website Cover My Meds, just expedites the process, makes it easier to determine how to contact the insurance company because it varies by each insurance. So how long does it take to get it approved? It varies by the insurance company and the medication. How much documentation the insurance company wants, what the whole process is. Medications that are needed immediately often you can request an expedited process, but typically you see between 1 and 4 business days. What if you want the brand name medication? What if your doctor does not want you to use the generic? Will the insurance pay for that? First off, typically the doctor has to write the prescription as brand name only, letting the pharmacy know that they don't want the generic used, or using the code DAW1. This varies by state and of course country as to how this works, but typically the doctor is going to have to specify on the prescription only brand name medication to be used. Most insurance companies then will reject the claim, saying that they'll require prior authorization before the brand name is covered. And then typically, if approved, it's going to be a fairly high copay. From my experience, once it is approved, it's going to cost, of course, a lot more than the generic. So what do you do if the insurance denies the medication, says no way to the prior auth? Well, you can pay cash, of course. You can talk to your doctor about finding a generic alternative, or you go through that step therapy process that your insurance company may have in place. You can take your formulary in to your doctor and see if they can find a medicine on that. Or you can file an appeal with the insurance company. It can be a headache, but if it's what you need for your condition, it's something you just may have to do. I appreciate you watching my video. I do hope that this provided you some understanding of the prior authorization process. Again, it can be a headache for doctors, pharmacies, patients. But unfortunately, it's necessary to keep costs under control for insurance companies. Prescriptions can get very expensive. And if they covered every prescription, the cost of insurance would go up. So it is sort of a necessary thing, albeit frustrating. And subscribe to my channel if you appreciate the information that I provide in these videos. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks.